Hello again. Welcome to Lesson 7, Maximum Area or Minimum Perimeter. Okay, so remember, we are talking about finding the maximum area given a perimeter that is fixed, okay, meaning the perimeter can't change. Or finding a minimum perimeter given an area that's fixed. So a common question there might be you are trying to build a swimming pool with an area of, let's say, 100 meters cubed, and you want to build a fence around it, but you want to use the least amount of fence as possible because, let's face it, we should all be cheap and save money. That's a typical question for finding minimum perimeter. Okay, so for this worksheet here, for the first two questions on page 1, they are multiple choice, so I'm going to let you do that on your own. Now, question 2 may need, or question 3 I should say, which is on the second page, may need a little clarification. So I will do that. There's a bit of a typo on my original copy, as you can see here. So it says here, the park has 100 meters of fencing for the daycare. The fencing will be used to create a rectangular play area. So there's 100 meters of fencing. Sketch 3 possible rectangles. So I'm going to sketch one for you. Now I have 100 meters of fencing for the daycare, which tells me that I'll be working with perimeter. Okay. Now, if I'm working with perimeter, I'm going to draw one possible rectangle here. So I got 100 meters of fencing. So, which means if I start there and I go around, it should add up to 100. Okay. So let's just say, let's give this one, I don't know, let's call it 20 meters, which means this side must also be 20 meters. Now, right there you can already see we used a 40, which means we've only got 60 meters left. So let's draw 30 meters there, 30 meters there. Okay, that's one possible solution. 20 plus 30 is 50, plus 20 is 70, plus 30 is 100 meters. We're good. Now, you have to draw 3. So your job is to draw 2 more rectangles that allows for 100 meters of fencing. Okay? Now, B, it says sketch the shape with the maximum area. Now, given a perimeter, okay, or a perimeter to work with, what shape will generate the maximum area? Now, I'm not going to tell you the answer here. It's in the lesson, and it's also a little hint, hint, nudge, nudge. On question 5, where you have to fill in the blanks, you will find the answers to these 3 in the lesson. Okay? And it will surely help you or remind you what shape will give you the maximum area. Okay? Now, once you have drawn that shape, I want you to calculate the area as well. Okay? Now, question 4. Oh, look at that. The pool question I was talking about. So for question 4, let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, so you want to construct a rectangular pool, and you are told that it needs to be 60 meters squared. Now the pool will be built in the back corner of your yard. So you want to minimize the amount of fencing you need to put around your pool. Okay? So what I want you to do here is essentially fill out this chart. So how does this chart work? Well, you're given that the area needs to be 60 meters squared. So what I want you to do is list the possible combinations of width and length for the pool. Now, let's say you want to have the width at 1 meter. Okay, so looking back at the image up here, let's say you want the width to be 1 meter and the length to be 60. This would be a 1-lap pool. You wouldn't be playing in it, you'd be just taking laps. Okay, because the width is only 1 meter. So if you want to build a fence around that, well, how do you find the perimeter? Well, it's 2 times 60. Where did I get 2 and 60 from? Well, the perimeter, remember, is the distance around. Right? So, I'll be going 60 across. Okay? And then 1 meter up, 60 meters across again, 1 meter down. So just to save time, there's 2 60 meters there, plus 2 1 meters on either side to give us a total perimeter. Okay? Now, here is one answer. Now, our job is to find the lowest amount, okay? So for the second one, let's make the width 2 meters. So let's make this a little wider, okay? So it would be coming down to, let's use pink, let's say about there, okay? Now, if it comes down 2 meters here, the area still needs to remain 60, right? And the area of a rectangle is length times width. So if it's 2 meters here, that tells me that the length should be, you got it, 30 meters. So this is 2 meters, then the length needs to be 30, okay? Oops, so sorry, this should be 30, not 2. 2 meters should be over here, okay? So 2, 30, 30. 2 times 30 is 60, so we're still satisfied with 60 meters squared. Now let's find the perimeter. So there's two sides of 2 meters, two sides of 2 meters, and two sides of 30 meters, two sides of 30 meters. 2 times 30 plus 2 times 2, that will give us 64. 64 meters. Okay, now pop quiz. Should it be squared? No, because we are working with distance. Okay. There we go. So continue filling this out. Okay. And at the very bottom, it will say, what is the minimum perimeter? So out of all these ones, which one is the minimum? And what dimensions give the minimum perimeter? Okay. All right. See you next lesson.